Hey, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. I'm Mariah, your Dairy State vegan, and today we are going to make a very creamy, very cheesy baked macaroni and cheese. Stay tuned. Alright, so some of y'all might have noticed that I did not post a video last week. If you saw my latest pregnancy update, I'll put that up here on one of these sides. I got really sick. I had bronchitis, a sinus infection. I'm actually still trying to fight off the sinus infection, but I just was too sick to record or really do much of anything. Thankfully, my wonderful husband kind of took the reins for me. So this is my first cook I've done in a while. So I'm going to show you how I make my really creamy mac and cheese, and then I'm going to do a little twist on it and we're going to do a baked mac and cheese. It's going to be so good. So let's get into cooking. Alright, so the very first step to this is you're going to take half a cup of raw cashews and soak them for about 4 hours. Shortcut, if you don't have time for this step or you just forgot, you can boil water and boil them for about 30 minutes. But these have been soaking, so make sure you do this, and then we're going to move over to cooking up our vegetables for our cheese sauce. Okay, so our next step is, in this pan we have 4 Yukon Gold potatoes. You want Yukon Golds for the color and for the texture, and then 1 carrot chopped roughly, because we're going to put this in a blender, and we're just boiling those until soft. In the back we have our water to cook our pasta. And then right here we have half of an onion with about a tablespoon of Earth Balanced butter. And we're going to saute this down. Make sure that you throw a little bit of salt in your veg water and in your pasta water so that you're seasoning all layers. We're going to cook our veg till they're soft. I probably should have used a bigger pan, but hey, I'm sick and so is my brain apparently. And then we're going to cook these till they start getting translucent. And then I'll show y'all how we take these vegetables and make a very cheesy, delicious sauce. Now, you could do the onions oil-free and saute them in broth or water. I think that macaroni and cheese is a very decadent meal. So for me, this isn't something I skimp and go oil-free on. I add the vegan butter and I eat it that way. But again, if you are oil-free, you can always saute this down in just some broth or water. Okay, now that our potatoes and carrots have gotten fork tender, we took them, about 16 ounces of the water we boiled them in, and put them in a blender. Before I blend this, our pasta water is boiling. So I'm going to take one 1-pound package of cavatappi and toss that in there to start cooking while we make our cheesy sauce. Okay, so to our blender we have our vegetables. We're going to strain our soaked cashews, add these. And on this first round, we're just going to blend this to get the texture, and then we'll season and add the onions on our second blend. Now, you don't have to use a Ninja blender. You can use a regular blender. Just know you'll probably have to blend it a couple extra times to get the correct texture. Okay, so our first blend is done, and now we're going to season. So the first thing we're going to add is nutritional yeast. This is what's really going to give you the cheesy flavor you're looking for. I use a lot. I use 6 tablespoons, sometimes a little more. I always recommend you start with a little less because you can always add. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic. About 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Again, you can always add more, but it's easy to make stuff too salty too fast. And then about 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And we're also going to add about 1 tablespoon of butter. I like the Earth Balanced vegan butter. You can use whatever vegan butter you prefer. This is going to give it that fatty, cheesy texture. And then we need to add our translucent onions. And then I did reserve some of our starchy water. And this looks like it could use to be thinned just a little bit. So I'm going to add just a dash more of that. And we're going to go ahead and throw this on our second blend. For our third and final blend, I'm going to add about ½ cup of almond milk. And this should get everything to our desired texture. Alright, so we're just going to give this a taste. If you need to adjust any of the spices, you can do that as you mix it in with the pasta at this point. There you have our thick, creamy, cheesy texture. It is really, really good. So we're going to finish cooking up our pasta, and then I will come back and show you what we do to finish this when we make it ready to be the creamiest, cheesiest baked mac and cheese. Okay, so our pasta is cooked and drained. We put it back in the pan. I'm going to add our cheese sauce, and then I have cubed up 1 package of these Chow Creamy Original Slices. We're going to mix that into here as well. Okay, so as you can see, we have our food processor attachment on our Ninja blender now, and this is my secret. I'm going to use these Earth Balance cheddar squares. Before I was vegan, I used to always top my homemade mac and cheese with crushed up Cheez-Its or Goldfish crackers. Now we use these. I'm going to use a whole package minus the few that I snacked on while cooking because I'm pregnant and hungry. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of bacon bits. If you didn't know, bacon bits are vegan. I don't add a ton because the flavor can be overwhelming. And we are just going to pulse this and crush them up. And it's okay if you have a few little bit bigger chunks. They will add a ton of texture. Now I'm going to show you how we top our baked mac and cheese. And then we're going to pop it in the oven at 375 till everything is bubbly and gooey and melted. Okay, so if you didn't want to bake your mac and cheese, you could have totally just mixed it until the Chow cheese was mixed in and stopped here. But because it is raining and storming and a little bit chilly in Wisconsin today, we want a little extra. So we're going to take some of our Chow cheese slices and just lay them over the top of our noodles and cheese sauce here. Another really good cheese for this would be the Follow Your Heart American slices. Work really, really well as well. I wanted this to seem a little more fancy and gourmet, but if you're going for that good old-fashioned mac and cheese flavor, the American slices are great. Okay, so we've got our Chow cheese on top. Now we're going to take our bacon bits and Earth Balance cheddar squares mixture and sprinkle over the top. Go ahead and reserve the extra for other mac and cheeses, or if anybody wants to add extra to theirs once it's baked. How good does that look? So we're just going to take this mixture. We're going to pop it in the oven at 375 degrees till these top cheese slices get bubbly and golden. You could also add some pats of the Earth Balance butter to the top to add a little crisp to your breadcrumbs. I'm not going to. It should get crispy from the cheese, but feel free to add a little extra butter if you want. So we'll come back when this is all cooked. And there you have it. Our cheesy, gooey, baked vegan macaroni and cheese. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel a whole lot. Comment down below if you're gonna try this delicious meal. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. Next video up is gonna be a vegan ultimate nachos. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna go devour this, and I'll talk to you all in my next video. Thanks. Bye.